Abnormal Heights, friends of the 116. It's November. I like to think of this as the month of gratitude.
Yep.
And how about post-election? Speaking of the number one number to always watch the year after the election.
Yeah. And what about higher interest rates might be hiding a little bit of a silver lining and maybe even an opportunity for those of you willing to take a risk?
All right, gang, so a little sprinkle of numbers. Why? Not because numbers are doing anything. I just like looking at them because you can answer the question like, compared to what? And then what does all that mean to me, right? So first of all, this is actually novel because all of the numbers are actually higher than this time last month and this time last year. What does that mean? New listings up, pending sales up, closed sales up. Median home price actually up as well, which is very interesting because we were watching that slide the last couple months. So activity is all up right across the board. And also prices kind of clicked up a little bit too. Now here's where it gets really interesting though. So days on market until sale, okay? Up 310%.
That's such a big number.
Right? So that's interesting because I just got done saying all the leading indicators were all up, like looking like it was healthy. Price was even up. But now you're telling me that they're sitting on the market forever?
Right.
And then inventory also up, what, 14%? And then supply up another 11%. I'll throw this to you, my esteemed colleague over on the mortgage number side. You just heard that all for the first time. We didn't pregame this. What do you think that, like if you're a buyer out there or you're a seller, like what the heck does that even mean to you?
It's a little conflicting, right? Because you're starting to see more homes on the market. More inventory is supposed to help buyers, but if prices are continuing to go up, that's not helping you. That means the competition is still healthy. So a lot of homes coming on the market, not necessarily squeezing out the end of the tube real fast, but indicators for sure of maybe something that's right on the horizon here.
And that's apropos, my esteemed colleague, because the year after an election, historically, is always a great year for real estate. So we've got the pent-up demand of the money getting expensive, now starting to massage maybe down a point or a point and a half, who knows, this time next year. And the confluence of that circumstance should be and should make for a great 25.
Yeah, people kind of pumping the brakes, waiting to see what happens. And a little bit of an interesting thing here. So since the Fed dropped rates, mortgage rates have actually risen quite a bit. And so with that, I think it's put a little bit of a temper on some of the buyer market, but also there's an opportunity in here. So Buffett was always famous for saying, when everybody else is scared, be brave and buy, right? That's the opportunity. And so this is an interesting concept that can be applied to real estate as well. With less people jumping more quickly, rates rising, bringing some of these things out of touch for some of the buyers. This is an opportunity. If you're an investor, if you're someone who is looking to buy a home and you've got some flexibility in your pre-approval and you can jump on something with a little bit higher rate, you might be able to beat out some of that competition that really ramps up when rates are on the way down. So we're here, everybody's pausing, and it's kind of an interesting opportunity. If you can stomach it, now might be a really good time to get in there with a little bit less competition.
Especially because the Big Four just came out last week and everybody was saying that maybe 25 aggregates to like 5 3/4, 5.5 or whatever. We're at like 6.5, 6 3/4 right now. 1 point of interest rate gain. That's like 10 to 12% of your purchase power.
Yeah, it's significant.
Right. So you didn't make any more money at your job, but you just roll into the market and you could buy 10 to 12% more home. Of course, that's going to have an effect on prices.
And we're seeing that throughout in both the supply and the movement of properties, loan applications, it's all throughout the board. So again, a little bit of an opportunity here with less competition.
So what's that mean to you, gang? Well, if you're a buyer, maybe this is that little epoch of time between now and I don't know what, end of January-ish, kind of like a little eye of the storm before the market may wake back up again. And if you're a seller, who knows what that means in the 116? You know, you like bird in the hand right now because it's good, but 25 might even be better.
And I've heard the holiday season is an interesting time for both sellers and buyers because of the fluctuations of the real estate market.